Well, hello there, Year 7. This will be one of the very last videos we do because we're back to normal next week and I hope we never have to do any lockdown again. Pretty much you've got a couple of days to try and finish off the content of the maths book, the booklet. And as has been emailed to you and mentioned on the Google Classroom, there's an online quiz, Google Classroom quiz that you're going to do next week sometime. And I know you're back at school next week, but instead of giving you a test in class, we're going to make it so you can do it online at home in your own time. And I think you'll be able to start doing it from next Monday, the first Monday of school, and you'll have about a week to complete it. And the topics it's about are area and perimeter and pi, okay, which I did with you last term, and the time topic that we've been doing this term. I'll do revision with you during week 4 when we're back at school so that you can give it the best shot and you can ask me different questions to go over. I just thought I'd do one of the extension questions in the booklet that you were given and show you how you can do it, okay? Because it looks hard to begin with, but when you think it through, it's not too bad. And the question says, would you rather have a race car or be in a race and the car goes at 40 kilometers per hour or 15 meters per second? Okay, and what we need to do is we need to work out which one of those things is actually faster. Now, when we just look at those numbers, we can't sort of work out automatically which one's faster. If it was 40 kilometers per hour or 40 kilometers or 15 kilometers per hour, obviously the 40 would be faster. Okay, but because the units are different, it's kilometers here, but it's meters here, and it's hours here, and it's seconds here, means we need to do some maths before we can find out which one of those speeds is faster. Okay, so is it faster when a car goes 40 kilometers in 1 hour, or is it faster when a car goes 15 meters in a second? All right, maybe before I show you how to do it, just maybe, which one do you think it is? Which one seems faster? And then we'll work it out. All right, here's what we do. My very high-tech solution. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to turn the 15 meters per second one, we're going to turn that into kilometers per hour so that we can compare the two. That's the only way we can really do the question properly. So the first thing we do is 15 meters per second. How do we turn that into meters per minute? Okay, so what we need to do is we go, well, how many seconds are there in a minute? Well, there's 60, which we know. So if we have to turn this side into 60, which is, if we multiply it by 60, which is what we do if we go from seconds to minutes, there's going to be 60 times that amount. Then we've got to multiply the other side by 60 as well. So when we multiply 15 by 60, we get 900. So the first thing we can work out that if a car is going 15 meters per second, that is the same as going 900 meters per minute. Okay, because if it goes 15 meters every second, and if it does that 60 times for 60 seconds, well, it goes 60 times 15 meters in a minute. And that is 900, because 15 multiplied by 60 is 900. So this thing here is the same exactly as this thing here, 900 meters per minute. Okay, now the next thing we've got to do is work out how many meters it can go in an hour. Okay, and that will help us to compare it to the other thing, which is 40 kilometers per hour. So we can multiply by 60 again, okay, because we've got to go from minute to hour. So there's 60 minutes in an hour, and if it can go 900 meters in a minute, and if it does that 60 times, that will tell us how many meters it can do it in an hour. All right, and if you multiply 900 by 60 again, you get 54,000, okay? And you can do that sort of quickly because you go 9 times 6 is 54 from your timetables. And how many zeros are there? There's 1, 2, 3 zeros. So you've got 3 zeros there as well. Okay, so you get to the point where we can work out that 15 meters per second is the same as 900 meters per minute, and that's the same as 54,000 meters per hour. And what we've done is we've multiplied by 60 and we've multiplied by 60. And that's actually the same as sort of just multiplying by 3,600 if we go from there, okay? Because there's 3,600 seconds in an hour, but doesn't matter. Okay, now the last thing we need to do is we don't want meters per hour, we want kilometers per hour. So now we want to change this 54,000 meters to the kilometers. And how many meters are in a kilometer? Well, it's 1,000. So we're going to do that by dividing by 1,000. And dividing by 1,000 is the same as, well, first of all, if there's dividing by 1,000, if there's 3 zeros at the end, you can just take the 3 zeros off, which makes this one easy. The answer is going to be 54. But the other thing you could do is you can move the multiple, the decimal point. So at the moment, the decimal point is here. And if we move it 3, 1, 2, 3, the decimal point would go there, and it would be 54.000, which is the same as 54. Okay, so when you do that, you get to 54 kilometers per hour. And the original question was, what's quicker, 40 kilometers per hour or 15 meters per second? Well, 15 meters per second, it's the same as 54 kilometers per hour, we've worked out. So that's faster than 40 kilometers per hour, like significantly faster. Although when I was reading this, when I worked this question out, I thought, well, both of those things are quite slow for a race car. You'd expect a race car to do hundreds of kilometers per hour. Okay, but that's how you do that. And we had to do that because over here, the units were all different. Okay, kilometers per hour can't be compared to meters per second until you change some of the units so that everything's in kilometers per hour. All right, so that's one of the interesting extension questions from the booklet. I hope you found that useful. If you've watched the video to try and do some harder maths, which has got steps in it, it's got more than one step doing a question like that, which is what some of the harder questions in maths are like. Okay, at high school, you've got to go through a few steps to work out the answer. All right, I'll be seeing you kids in person really soon, okay? And I look forward to that. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.